Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. I'm pretty sure I know what these are, but we got to open them up to find out. Thanks so much to Reich and Ketchel and Karbon. Yeah, it's this. I believe it's all the same thing. I forget how they're all connected, right? Thank you so much to Reich for sending these in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. And please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. So I'm pretty sure this is the new Ken Onion design from Karbon Knives, which is OEM'd by Reich. If I get that wrong, Reich, Ketchel, you guys, let me know. I'm sorry. It's a lot of information to keep in my head. Right? Either way, I'm going to link these down in the description. It absolutely helps my channel when you guys use those links, but that is up to you. Is that what this? No, this is not what I thought it was. I mean, this is a Ken Onion design, but this is that one that I showed. Yeah, this is that one that I showed here recently, but this one is it DLC? Hold on. Let's wipe it off with one of my many microfiber cloths. So I'm trying to find one that hasn't been used. Yeah, okay, it's that one that I showed a while back. It definitely is a Ken Onion design, but I think what we have here is a DLC coating, or at least that's what I'd like to find out, is that it's a true DLC. It could be PVD, right? Not hyper reflective. It's not a satin DLC or anything like that. The Buckhorn, that's right. That's what this is. So I'm pretty sure it wasn't the Buckhorn S35VN, wasn't it? I feel like it was. I could be mistaken. Anyways, they're letting us all know that the Buckhorn now comes in black, which I think actually looks better in contrast with the thumb studs, which are stops, by the way, and the pivot collar, which is, yeah, I think it looks a lot better with the black. Okay, cool. So that must mean maybe this one is the knife I was thinking of. What do we have? What do we have? Is this? No, it's literally the same thing. So, I finished out this video assuming that there was no difference. Actually, I was like, oh, I found the difference. It's a nested steel liner lock. And then I went on to talk about the difference between the nested steel line. You know what would have been really helpful, and I'm sure you guys have been screaming it at me, is if I had actually looked at the cards. The cards would indicate that these are 14C28N and 6061 aluminum. Okay, that is amazing. This feels exactly like titanium. It feels exactly like the titanium. This is crazy. This might be, and I think it's the machining on the aluminum. I have no idea if this is DLC or not. I'm going to kind of pull away from that. But this is absolutely insane. This might be some of the most complicated machining that I have seen on aluminum here. And I have somewhere back here the original Buckhorn, but maybe you know what? Maybe it's in one of these other cases. But the point is that these are really, really nice, substantially less expensive versions of these knives. I don't know how much these are or how much different they are than the original. I feel like the original was like $275 to $300, so I would assume that these are substantially less. But I need to emphasize this: these are really nice. These are crazy nice. I would never guess if somebody handed this to me. I would say this is clearly. I mean, it's just like, you know, what I pointed out at the beginning of the video. I was like, this is just the same. It's the same thing. It's just black DLC or coated titanium and S35VN. No. This is apparently aluminum. That is bizarre. So these are stops on aluminum. Must be enough surface contact to still make that work. That would explain the steel nested liner lock here. That is some pretty crazy sculpting of aluminum, right? Now, a lot of people, you know, if these end up being, because here's the thing. I'm going to tell you guys right now, these are going to be more expensive than budget knives. A lot of people are going to go, oh, aluminum and 14C28N. That should automatically be under $75. No. This is obviously a bit more complex on the machining front. It is not cheap to do this to aluminum. This is pretty wild. I would say almost certainly these will be more than $75. Now, I hopefully not a ton more, right? But it wouldn't surprise me if these are over $100. I know you guys are going to get mad at me. You're going to say, you're giving them a reason to charge money. Credit where it's due. If it's more complicated, if there's more work in it, right? If the machining is more costly, I expect to see a higher price tag, right? This isn't a flat rectangle with long triangle blade. Yeah, you can expect to see aluminum 14C28N in that form fall under $75. Sure, but we see that all the time. This includes the wild palm swell. See that? Right? The multi-texturing. The, what's that weird optical illusion paint? We got that going on with the cubes, right? Pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty impressive. We also have a milled clip. I keep expecting to look at these cards and have it say titanium. Why does one say aluminum alloy and the other one says aluminum? That's weird. It must be like an early card versus a later card. I mean, one of these is wrapped and one of them wasn't, right? I do like the black and the gold. I think that's really cool. I wonder how they're heat treating the 14C28N. Seriously, I can't. I know that titanium is, you know, in terms of like if you finish it the same as aluminum, it's very, very similar. It's just going to be slightly different in weight. Aluminum's still going to be a little bit lighter, which, by the way, we're going to weigh these. But these are backed up by full steel liners on both sides. I think we can see a little bit easier here, yeah. So that's what's creating the additional weight that's making this so confusing. The balance on this is right in the middle of the forward or the primary choil, the primary index. So a lot of people say you can't say primary choil because choil can only mean forward from the pivot, you know. And to those people, I'd say, whatever. I'm going to say primary choil. I'll say primary choil if I want to. Primary index finger position, right? For the blade scholars, the council of Reddit or whoever is giving them some imagined title of self-importance. But let's go ahead and weigh them. I bet they still weigh similar. They just have that solid feel, right? So the black one, 4.5 ounces, probably pretty similar to the first one, the titanium one. Same thing, yeah. Yeah, these are really nice. My guess is that these are going to come in between $100 and $120. So I would love to be wrong. I would love to find out that they're less than that. I would be really surprised. I would also be a little sick to find out they come in too much more than 120, right? While we do expect to see certain blade materials fall exclusively into certain price parameters, people who hear 14C28N, right? A lot of those people will say, I will accept no knife in 14C28N that is over $100. Now, if you dig into why, they won't be able to give you a very detailed explanation. They just expect certain other steels to fall into place as soon as we rise into different territories. And the steels that they give as examples, when you dig into them, don't have very much in the way of additional performance versus what they expect from 14C28N. How do I know this? Because I've had this argument a million times with a million different people. I know every avenue of every response. It's the same type of thing. Now, is it a justified argument, though? Right? Despite them not being able to explain exactly why all the time. Some people can explain why. But yeah, I think so. And the reason is, and this is, it ends up being like a kind of a little bit of a controversial explanation. There are certain steels, despite their performance in any given area, right? Performance is a balance. It's not one specific thing. A lot of people think they automatically correlate performance with edge retention, right? Performance with edge retention. It can mean nothing else. Performance is the balance of the composition, right? How well a blade performs depends on its task, its composition, its geometry, right? So you can't just be like, edge retention better, knife better. Like that's dumb. That's butterbrain, right? You don't know anything and you're not learning anything, right? You have to look at it as a balance, right? So certain balances of compositions, they may perform the same or worse in terms of edge retention, but their overall balance is more specific, right? the more it takes to create a balance of composition, the more costly it is. Obviously, there's a bunch of other factors. So certain steels, despite not performing as well or the same as lesser steels, might be more expensive to make, which is why we see certain compositions falling into higher price tiers. So the argument of, I don't want to see 14C28N coming in at over $100 is stupid in some ways and also justified in other ways. It just depends on the other elements of the knife, right? And whether or not people are willing to buy it. So I'm not trying to dismiss the argument entirely. I'm just saying a lot of the people who say stuff like that, they have no idea why they're saying it. They're just like, because edge retention. And they stand there stupidly with their elbows out like wings, right? With their knees slightly bent. If you could see me, right? That's what they look like. But some of you I know understand this argument and why it's there. Really, what I'm trying to do is just paint a picture as far as why these might cost a little bit more. At the same time, I really don't want to see them venture too far past that $120 mark, right? So anyways, it's okay to enjoy. It's making it sound like you can't enjoy this unless you view it the same way as me, and I realize that's not the way to go. But enjoy whatever you want and justify whatever you want for whatever reason. It's fine, right? All I'm saying is look into it a little bit more. Understand a little bit. It's still, even if it's not your preference, it's still better to understand why things cost more than just to dismiss them and then parrot things that you've heard from all over the internet without really knowing why you think that. But anyways, these are cool. It's getting really off on a tangent there. These are cool. It's neat that they're exploring the budget territory. Definitely a lot more complicated than we normally see for these materials, but I'm glad I found those cards. Professional knife reviewer. Here I am educating everybody, right? It's so dumb to think this way. Meanwhile, stupid guy can't even look for the card that says exactly what they're made out of. All right, you got me. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.